Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and give you the core insights you need.
That's the plan.
And today, we're diving into the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft. We've got the analyst takes, player reactions, all from the NFL's YouTube stuff. Our mission, figure out the surprises, the why behind the picks, and, how these rookies might change things up for their teams.
Exactly. It's more than just names on a board, isn't it? It's strategy. It's team building. What were they thinking? What's the ripple effect?
That's what we want to explore for you. Okay, let's get right into it. First thing that really jumped out was the defense. A lot of defense early.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a trend.
We saw Michael Williams to the Niners at 11, then Kenneth Grant to Miami at 13, Walter Nolan to the Cards at 16.
Shamar Stewart to Cincy at 17.
Right. Then Walker to Atlanta, Harmon to Pittsburgh. I mean, that's a heavy focus on D right off the bat.
It really is. It tells you where the league's head is at, maybe.
Yeah.
Valuing those defensive playmakers.
So, for San Francisco, taking Michael Williams, what was the thinking there? Filling needs.
Absolutely filling needs. They lost Floyd. They lost Hargrave. That's significant. They needed someone explosive on that line.
Compare with Bosa.
Exactly. Williams had, maybe a bit of an up and down time at Georgia early on, but the potential. Analysts kept talking about that explosive first step, the physique. He just looks the part.
Okay. And Miami grabbing Kenneth Grant, that feels like a direct replacement for Christian Wilkins, doesn't it?
It really does. And the talk around Grant was all about that rare combo of sheer power. He's 330, but also agility.
That's unusual.
It is. They said his motor just doesn't quit and maybe he's just scratching the surface. Apparently the Michigan coaches saw that potential super early.
Interesting.
And what's also interesting is how teams approach defense differently. Take Shamar Stewart going to the Bengals.
Ah, the traits guy.
The classic traits versus production debate, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's got the size, the speed, looks incredible on the hoof, showed flashes, but the sack numbers
Weren't huge, no.
weren't huge. So Cincinnati is clearly banking on their coaching. They think they can unlock that potential, kind of like the Rashawn Gary comparison people are making. Big upside. Needs refinement.
It's a bit of a gamble,
Yeah.
but the payoff could be massive. And it wasn't just the big guys up front, was it? We saw DBs go, too.
Right. J.D. Barron to the Broncos, Malachi Starks to the Ravens. Teams clearly value guys who can do multiple things in the secondary now.
Versatility.
Exactly. Barron, a lot of people had him as the top corner. They love his ball skills, tracking the ball, making plays, and he tackles. That's huge for a corner.
A true three-down player.
And Starks. Started as a freshman at Georgia on that crazy defense. That tells you something about his football IQ, his readiness. Baltimore loves smart, versatile defenders. He fits right in.
Okay, let's switch sides. Offensive line. Dallas grabs Tyler Booker. Seattle takes Gray Zabel. Big investments there. Yeah, the Booker pick for Dallas. That just felt very Cowboys, didn't it?
To build the trenches. Maybe get back to running the ball like they used to. Could be. And Booker isn't just talent. It's the leadership stuff you kept hearing about. Having a huge impact on the whole team culture.
That story about him learning the playbook on the flight home.
Wild, right. That tells you about his commitment, his intelligence. You need that from your O-line, especially a rookie stepping in.
Definitely. And Zabel to the Seahawks. The key there seemed to be versatility.
Huge plus. Played all 5 spots, apparently. That gives Seattle so much flexibility, with injuries or just trying different combinations.
Yeah, he crushed it at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, that performance really seemed to lock in his first-round status. Showed he could handle top guys. Seattle needs to protect their quarterback, whoever that ends up being long-term.
Speaking of protecting the QB, Washington went heavy on tackles later on.
Doubled down. Connolly and Campbell. Makes sense, right? You've got Jaden Daniels, your young franchise guy. You got to keep him upright. That's job one. Smart move.
Okay, now, the pick that maybe raised the most eyebrows. The Giants trading back into the first round.
Yeah.
To take Jackson Dart, a quarterback. Late-ish first round. With Daniel Jones on the roster, that was unexpected.
It really was. A bit of a head-scratcher initially. What does it mean for Jones? What's the long-term play?
People were throwing out the Jalen Hurts comp.
Right. Maybe they see Dart as that kind of developmental guy, someone with tools they can mold, maybe a succession plan down the line. It certainly shows they're not completely settled at QB long-term.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, receivers. Packers fans must be ecstatic. They finally did it. Matthew Golden, first-round wide receiver.
The streak is over,
Yeah.
and you can just feel the excitement. Plus, the local connection and his personal story.
Yeah, wanting to help his family after they lost their property. That adds a layer, doesn't it? Makes him easy to root for.
Absolutely. Fans will love that. Gives them extra motivation, too, probably.
And the Colts added a weapon, too. Tight end Tyler Warren. He sounds interesting.
Yeah, the comparisons to Travis Kelce, maybe a bit lofty.
Yeah, just a bit.
But it points to his style, right? Versatile, physical. They even mentioned him taking Wildcat snaps in college.
Really? Okay, that shows some athleticism.
And wearing number 44 like John Riggins, he clearly embraces that physical style. Indy could have a really solid player there.
And we did get a running back in the first round, Omarion Hampton to the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. And you immediately think, Jim Harbaugh, power running game.
Exactly. Jonathan Taylor comps, the speed, the power. Seems like a perfect fit for what Harbaugh wants to do, doesn't it?
It really does. Pairing him with Najee Harris could give them a nasty 1-2 punch in that backfield.
Definitely changes the look of that offense. Beyond the picks themselves, though, there were some really cool human moments on draft night.
Yeah, those are always great to see. It reminds you what this means to these guys and their families.
Like Tyler Booker's pure joy. You couldn't help but smile.
Totally infectious. And Matthew Golden's emotional interview. Malachi Starks and that long hug with the commissioner.
Yeah, that was something.
And the Broncos letting young Sam announce their pick. Class act. Just a fantastic moment.
Loved that.
Mm.
And Maxwell Harrison with the family jacket, Jihad Campbell, just buzzing to join the Eagles. It had so much color.
It really does. We also saw plenty of movement, didn't we? Trades.
Yeah, the Giants moving up for Dart, obviously. Falcons moved around. And then the Eagles and Chiefs doing deals like twice at the end.
Trading partners. Yeah, teams always jockeying for position, trying to maximize value or snag that one guy they targeted. It's fascinating to watch the GMs work.
It is. And we should also shout out Ohio State. What a night for them.
Seriously. Williams to the Niners, Jackson to the Vikings, another Williams to the Lions, Simmons to the Chiefs.
And Egbuka being the first off the board from the champ.
It's just churning out talent. It's incredible, really. Shows the level of that program.
And speaking of programs churning out talent, Georgia. Again, especially on defense.
Yep. Williams, Walker, Starks, all first-round defenders. It's becoming expected at this point, isn't it? NFL-ready defenders from Georgia. Teams know what they're getting.
High floor players.
Exactly.
Okay, so wrapping up the first round. Key themes seem to be defense, defense, defense early on. Some big bets on the offensive line. That surprise QB pick by the Giants.
Can't forget that one.
And just some really great stories mixed in. Hopefully this gives you a good handle on who went where and some of the initial thinking.
Yeah, it's the first piece of the puzzle, but a really important one. Sets the stage for the rest of the draft and the season ahead.
So here's something for you to think about. Looking at all these picks, the team needs, the player profiles we talked about, which one player do you think has the best shot to be a truly transformative force for their new team? Like right away this season?
Good question. Something to chew on.
Might be worth digging a little deeper into their tape, their situation. Anyway, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.